Original King Julian for the case, man. I love how all the girls move their body. And when you move your body, you don't move it nice and sweet and sassy. All right? Woman, you're cute and you don't need no makeup. Original.
All right, everybody.
And you don't need no makeup.
Let's start moving and grooving.
Physically fit, physically fit, woman, physically fit, physically fit, woman, nice, freak, fantastic. Big body ocean at the big tight and woman, nice, sweet, energetic. Big body ocean at the big tight and woman, nice, freak, fantastic. Big body ocean at the big tight and woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Big body ocean at the big tight and
don't forget, tag your friends in the comments.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Move
I
it.
like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
Move it.
Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body
Are you
makeup on
dancing?
woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup.
looking.
Original cute body makeup on mother.
I want to see you dancing. In fact, what I want to challenge you to do right now is take a screenshot or take a selfie of yourself dancing and put it in the comments. All right? Selfie, dancing, comments. Okay? Because, you know, I want to see you in person doing the deed. Get all excited here as we go about it. Let me get the music turned down. Woo! All right, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to March Madness. That's right, March Madness, because MAD stands for Make a Difference. And this month is the month that we are going to make a difference in so many people's lives. We're going to make a difference by sharing our opportunity and helping people to live a better life. We're going to date parties so that we can make a difference for our host and getting them lots of Tupperware into their hands, as also educating them and their friends on how to use our products. And of course, we're going to make a difference for our customers as they see how Tupperware is going to be the product that's going to change their lives. So everybody, welcome tonight. We are glad that you are all here. I kind of try to check this thing over here. Don't forget to give StreamYard permission, or Facebook permission for StreamYard to be able to see your comments. And also remember that we are also streaming right now on to YouTube. So our YouTube channel, so you go to youtube.com and you type in Hooray Sales, and it comes up with this cute little balloon that says Hooray, and that is and then check on the live broadcast and you will be able to view there. Now, I'll tell you why that's a great thing to know, because you might have someone you've been talking to who isn't really sure about the support they're going to get, about the training, about, anything about our business. And so it's a great way to give them a chance to check us out as a guest. And of course, during the event, if they decide they like what they see and they decide to join us, they get a bonus gift too. So they just have to let us know that they're watching on YouTube, let you know they're watching on YouTube, and let us know that they are excited about what they're hearing and they want to join the team. And I'll always have a gift for them for doing that. Okay. So guys, we are so happy to have you all here with us tonight. I am having trouble with my little things there. There we go. Okay. Let me turn that off. There we go. And for those of you who haven't met yet, because we do have some new team members, hopefully they're jumping on here with us and watching tonight too. In the comments, be sure to tell us who you are, where you're from, and because that way Charlie knows who you are, because he put your name in there so he knows that you're there. Also, in case StreamYard doesn't have permission to show your name on Facebook. Okay. So those are all important things to know as we get started tonight. And as always, I like to start with a quote, and I'm going to move that to a little bit bigger, because in honor of Dr. Seuss, the amazing Dr. Seuss, whose birthday was Saturday, would have been, I think would have been 96 years old this year. And he was such a wise man. And he, even though his books were written for children, what they really did is encompass a way of looking at life that we all could embrace, because his focus was living with without fear and living open, like being open to what comes our way. So I love this particular quote. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Now, to me, that is that really speaks to this idea that there are no limits to what we can do if we believe in the power of us. If we believe that we have been gifted with talents and abilities that we can bring out and make a difference with the people that we come in contact with. And if we really focus on putting those talents that are inside of us to work and moving forward with that, there's nothing that can stop us. And so tonight we're going to talk about some things that you can do to grow your business, because oftentimes I'll have people say to me, Marsha, I just can't get anybody to have a party. I just can't get anybody to buy anything. I just can't, blah, blah, blah. And so one of the things I want you guys to remember is that can't is a negative, and we don't want negatives in our life. So I want you to focus on marking that word out of your vocabulary. I don't want to hear that word anymore. I want you to focus everything you say in a positive. I can date parties because I'm making the effort. I can find new customers because I'm out meeting new people. Flip it around, focus on what the action is that you have to take to be able to change your situation. If the people that you're talking to aren't buying Tupperware from you, then find some new people. If the family members you have won't book parties for you, then move outside your family. I will be honest with you, in 43 years in this Tupperware business, 44 years this year in this Tupperware business, very little of my business has come from my family. Really and truly, very little's come from friends. Most of the business that I have are people that have become my friends because they did business with me. And you've got to get outside those people. The friends, your friends and family are the people who you can ask to help you get started. And when you ask them in a very specific way. When you are talking to friends and family about helping you in your Tupperware business, see, they think they know better than you do, and they think that you're probably making a mistake by doing something like this, because nobody makes money in a direct sales business, and who needs Tupperware, right? But what you want to do is say to them, you know what? I am so excited about my business. And what I'd like to ask is if you could do one thing for me, just one thing to help me get started. If you will do this one thing one time, I promise I will never, ever, ever ask you to help me again. All right. So if somebody asks you that in that way, it makes it a lot easier for somebody to say, okay, I'll do that, because you've clarified to them, I'm not going to harass you. I'm not going to hound you. I'm not going to keep coming back to you. But this is why it's so important that you continue to build your contacts. You continue to find new people, because if you say that, if you will do this one thing to help me get started, then I will never, ever, ever ask you to have a party for me again. So you ask them, can you host a party for me and invite 10 people that I don't know to your party? That's what you're going to ask them. Can they have a party for you and invite 10 people that you don't know? And the reason for that is because those 10 people are going to open up the doors to you to 600 more people, because everybody knows at least 200 people, and they can think of about 30 or 40 every single time. But those 10 people have a circle of influence of 200 people. Even if we figure 60 to 100, what you're talking about is opening the doors to 600 to 1,000 new people that you can do business with. So that's what you're going to do. If they say no, they can't have the party, then you ask them, would they make a post on their page for you sharing that you have started selling Tupperware, and will they tag 10 of their friends or 10 people that you don't know? And you use this as a way to reach out to other people. Okay. So that's one thing that I want you to keep in mind. And if you haven't done this, if you haven't gone to your friends and family, and if you haven't even asked them, you've just posted out there that you're selling Tupperware and gosh, nobody's responding, I want you to reach out to them one-on-one and ask them, because if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's the key to success in our business. You have to show your ask. Okay. Ask, ASK, right? All right. So, what are your March goals? March is a brand new month. We're 4 days into it now, 5 days into it. And it's a chance for you to really make something big happen this month. What are your goals? I want you to think about, how do I set goals? They have to be specific. My goal for March is to make $1,000. My goal for March is to hold 5 parties. My goal for March is to recruit 3 people. Okay, that's specific. I don't want to hear, I want to sell more. I want to date more parties. I want to recruit some people. That's not specific. It's got to be specific. It's got to be yeah, and that also means you can't say I want to do better. You've got to be measurable. Okay, 5 parties. That's pretty measurable. I date 1, I date 2, I date 3, I date 4, I date 5. Check. I did it. It's got to be achievable. Yes, I can hold 5 parties. That's not outside the realms of possibility. There are people who do that in a week, and I can do it in a month. It's got to be relevant, realistic, something that you are willing to do the work to get it to happen. So if I want to date 5 parties, realistically, I'm going to have to ask 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 or more people to host a party for me. And it's got to be timely. I'm going to do it by March the 27th. Okay, that's the timeliness. I've got to do it by this date. So I want you to set that March goal. I want you to, in the comments right now, tell me what is your March goal. And if your March goal is not a SMART goal, I'm going to call you on it. So I want you to put that in there. I want you to say, this is my goal for March. I'm going to do this by doing this, by doing this, by this time, so that we can look at it and say, okay, this is great. Maybe your goal is just that I'm going to ask 10 people to host a party by March the 10th. Okay, that can be a goal for this month. That's a start. You've got to have someplace you start. Put it in the comments. I'm going to be looking at those. In fact, Charlie's watching them for me, and he's going to pop some of them up there on there. Why is it not letting anyone reply? They're saying, that's very interesting. All right. So just go ahead in the comments, guys. Let me know what you are saying. Okay. And oh, there we go. See, I see one right there. Yay, Jody, for being the first one to put it out there on top of everything. And you're going to ask 10 people to host a party. And what date are you going to do that by? That's the next step, Jody. It's got to be a timely, you got to have a timeline on it. Okay. And then I see somebody else. Oh, there we go. Cynthia. Cynthia says she's going to ask 5 people to have a party for me. By what date? Okay. Remember, guys, it's got to have that timeline on it. All right. There we go. Jody's going to do hers by March 15th. Fantastic. So this is the key, guys. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to be willing to put it in writing, put it out there in public, share it with somebody so you're accountable, and you've got to believe that you can do it. And then you got to do the work. Of course, everything comes down to doing the work, right? All right. We have some great rewards going on right now. I'll do this one so you can see it a little bit bigger. We have some great gifts going on right now. Right now, this week, by this Wednesday, you have a chance to get that fabulous decal for the back window of your car that says Tupperware, the 2 flags to put on the outside of your car so they, as you drive down the road. And then you can always get someone that you know that maybe has a Cricut or a Silhouette, and to cut out your phone number if you want to put your phone number on there. And that way you can get people, or you could put your website so that people can go to your website. We're going to have somebody on talking with us a little bit later. And I always remember this because she and I were on the phone one night, and one afternoon, and she was driving down the interstate, and she said, that her phone was ringing, and she took the call that was coming in, and it was somebody following her that saw her phone number on the back of her car that said Tupperware, and they were calling her because they wanted Tupperware from seeing her on the interstate. I'll let her tell you a little bit more about that when she comes on a little bit later. But this week you can get that with just $250 in sales, and then you've got a 2-week challenge with just $500 in sales. You're going to get some of your brand new samples for our summer catalog. Now, guys, this catalog's not coming out till May. So don't get panicky like, oh my gosh, I don't have any, what am I going to do about catalogs? You've got plenty of time to use whatever catalogs you have. You have 7 weeks more with the catalogs that you have. This is not going to start till May, but you have a chance to earn your samples, $110 worth of samples for just $20 by just selling $500 in these 2 weeks. And then for the month, when you have 1,000, you're going to get a great collection of on-the-go products. And with $2,500 in sales, you're going to get more of your new products, $174 value of new products for $15. And guys, I got to tell y'all something. I got to see our new host gift special for the summer. OMG, it is going to be so amazing. It's going to help you date so many parties. And that's why we have to be seeing people now, because as soon as you know all this stuff, you're going to need to be talking to these people to date parties for you into May. So come mid-April, when the new catalog launches, you want to have a lot of parties scheduled, because as you're seeing those people that last 2 weeks of April, you're going to be dating parties with them into that first week of May. It's going to be huge. Okay. So that's going on. Oops, go back. And then of course we have our Get Your Logo On. And guys, if you've earned a Get Your Logo On with 2024 in January and February, I have sent messages to some folks like, what do you want? Nobody's answered me. Nobody's picked out their gifts. So I need to know what you want so that I can send you your freebies from me. All right. But this month, we have some new specials. We have, of course, our mailer, which I'm going to talk about next. But we have these 2 specials. And this is the great thing about Tupperware. We have a fabulous catalog with over 250 products that people can't get anywhere else except from us. And then we have a monthly brochure. And then we have our online exclusives. And then we have additional specials that they kick for 1 week or 2 week or while supplies last, things like that. We always have close to 100 items available for special pricing for our customers. So we've got 250 in our catalog, anywhere from 50, 75 to 100 at any given time on special that people can take advantage of. These are 2 flyers we have going on. The Easter Fund goes through next week, through the week from Wednesday, whatever that date is. March. Goes through April 3rd, it says. Okay, April 3rd. So that one's going to go most of the month, and all of them are while supplies last. Let me go back over here so you can see them. There we go. I will tell you the one on that sheet that is getting a little low are the snack stores. And it's still plenty of inventory. It's like 74% inventory left. The other flyer, which has those amazing 16-ounce tumblers for $15 and the plates and the Ultra Pro and the vent and serve, the pie server there, the cake server, torch server, whatever you want to call it, that has sold out. And so you want to be aware of that. And then also you need to know that the vent and serve and the tumblers are currently at, we still have quantity of those. Those, of course, are going to last through. They're good till Wednesday anyway, so we should be fine on those. But they're about like 55 to 65%. Okay, so we should have plenty of those. The others are well over 70%. So we've got lots and lots of those to sell. And then we have, of course, this amazing, awesome set of bowls that we have right now that you can use to book parties with as well as to sell. I mean, guys, I have mine set up right over here behind me. Can you see that? Let me take that off for just a second. Can you see how beautiful those are? I mean, I just love these. And if you've got your samples in of these, you need to go live with these. You need to show these to people. You need to be talking about them. You got to show how they nest inside of each other. You've got to talk about all the different things they can do. Maybe take one bowl and just talk about everything they can do with that one bowl. And that will be a great way for you to show them all that they can do with that set as well. But more importantly, as you're talking about it and you're showing them why they need this set of bowls, then you have the chance to talk to them about booking a party and getting it free. Because why should you buy it when you can get it free? And it is a fabulous Mother's Day gift. This will be such a great gift for those folks, especially the moms who do a lot of cooking, a lot of baking. And so you want to talk to them about that as well. Now, another one that I absolutely love is this little picture. This is actually one of the things in the brochure that is starting to run low as well. So this one is possibly going to sell out before the end of the month. So you don't want to let this get away from you. And what I love about this is, okay, so this is the close. You put it in the microwave. You can melt your chocolate in it. You can melt your, or heat your broth in here. You can heat water in it to make your iced tea. You can hold your finger right here and press, and then it can pour out. How cool is that, right? And then if you have something that is maybe like has seeds in it, maybe you did some lemon juice, or maybe you did some veggies in there and you want to drain the water off on that. With this one, you're not going to want to do that, obviously, but it has a little strainer right there. See that? So you just put your finger on top and you go like that. And so the water comes out, and then your potatoes would be right here, and you can mash them. And then you've got some mashed. It's great for little mashed potatoes, especially if it's just for 1 or 2 people. It's a perfect little size for that. This is one of my favorite things. I pull it out all the time to use it, and not even just for using in the microwave. It's the same material they make Microtherm out of, or same material they make the stack cooker out of. It's Microtherm. And so it will handle those high temperatures. It's great for heating up your gravy. It's great for, just like I said, your chocolates and things like that. I make hot pudding in it. So it's great for that. Heat up your milk in it. I bet this would be a cute little thing for you to fill up with some little candies and goodies to give a mom for Easter. That'd be a great little Easter basket for your mom, right? So it'd be kind of cool for that. But what I like about it too is it has the measurements on the sides. And so if I'm doing especially liquid measurements, I can just use this for those larger quantities instead of 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup. I can use this and then heat it up. I like to make risotto. And so with risotto, you have to have your hot broth to pour into your pan. I use my cast iron skillet for that. And so I pour this in there, do it, pour this in there, do it, pour it in there, do it. So it's just perfect for that. So guys, if you have this, start talking about it. If you don't have it, I shared a chocolate cake recipe with you. Find some other recipes to talk about this and share that, because we don't want to wait till the end of the month on this one. It's probably going to sell out before we get to the end of the month. So start talking about it right now, okay? Now, and we've got, of course, these other great items that we have going on, the cake taker, the pitcher, the tumblers, all of those. And as I said, these 2 items, the pitcher, the micro pitcher at 63% inventory. And then this little set, oops, go back, Marsha. The spatulas, actually, the spatulas are at 44%. So those are also getting low. I don't know what happened to my little thing that had it on there, but 44%. And so those are the 2 things that are probably going to sell out of this brochure. All right. So I want you to, once again, I'm going to take a little inspiration from the amazing Dr. Seuss. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Don't wait to get started on working your business. Every day that goes by is a day that you've missed an opportunity to make something happen, to make something big happen. And one of the things you want to make sure that you don't wait on any longer is getting your space for Jubilee. Jubilee is coming up in August. We want to take a huge group. Guys, this is going to be amazing. It's 3 days. And during those 3 days, you are going to get all kinds of fabulous training, recognition, and you're also going to come home with basically most everything that's new that's going to be in your fall catalog when you were there in person. So there's only 1,000 spaces there. It's over half full. So go ahead and get your space. Designate a party every week to help you pay for it, or set aside some money and just start really working on making sure that you're there. You've got till June to get registered and paid. The multi-payment, the option ended last week. So if you didn't get registered by February 28th, it's one lump sum now. But guys, you know what? You can make that happen. Start setting aside a little bit every week and then get that space reserved for you. We've got our fundraisers going on. You're going to get some money when you get there. That's going to help cover your cost for being there. So this is one of those places. Get on your feet. Let's go. You don't want to miss out. Plus, you don't want to miss out on a chance to travel with me, because I'm going to take you on a trip. And all you have to do is focus on adding 2 to 3 parties a week to your schedule, and then share, because you're in front of people every single party. You're going to be talking about your opportunity, and you're going to find recruits. And by doing those 2 things, holding 2 to 3 parties every week, talking to somebody, and about joining your team every week, you're going to win a trip with me. And guys, it is going to be so exciting. And from the time you get there to the time you leave, I'm going to be covering your place that you're going to stay, your food, your transportation, your activities. It's going to be huge, and you don't want to miss out on that, right? And the way that you're going to do it is by booking parties. Book lots and lots of parties, because that's where the money is. Every single party that you hold is money in your pocket. And you know what? If you don't have a party this week, hold your own. Every single week, if you don't have a party already scheduled, hold your own and invite 20 people that you haven't invited before. So invite 20 new people. Go down your list of people that are in your friends in Facebook and invite them. Do one in your home. Invite your neighbors to come. Go down and knock on the doors and invite them to come, even if you don't know them. When I first moved to my neighborhood here in Charlotte, I did exactly the same thing. I went around my neighborhood, knocked on the door, said, "Hi, I'm your new neighbor. I'm also a Tupperware lady. I'm having a Tupperware party at my house. Would you like to come?" And I invited them into my home so that I could get my business started when we moved here. So this is the key, guys. If you want it, you can have it. All right. Because leads, that's the knocking on the door, leads to prospects, people that you're talking to, and prospects lead to customers, which lead to parties, which lead to recruits, which leads to money in your pocket. All right. So we want to talk to you about growing your business at vendor events. And I'd like to welcome someone here with me tonight to help me with that. And it is the one and only Pam Stokes. Hello, Pam. How are you tonight? Pam, you're muted.
Hey there.
All right. All right. So Pam, I am going to turn it over to you and let you take it away.
All right. Hello, everybody. Anyway, I just want to tell you, this is probably one of my favorite things to talk about, is doing vendor events. And one of the reasons I like this so much is because the one thing you hear is get out in front of the people. And this is one of the very, very best ways that you can do that, is to try and get into some vendor events. Just so you know, a lot of you know my story, that about 9 years ago, my husband and I took a leap of faith, and he kind of semi-retired from a company he'd been with for 30 years. And we moved to Southwest Florida. It was 1,000 miles from door to door, but I work with a company that I can take my business with me. And I started doing my research before I ever left Richmond. To go to Southwest Florida. What you're going to do is, when you're out and about at these vendor events, this is how you're going to get in front of people to meet them. So let me just go through my notes here so I don't miss anything. Let's see. I got off schedule. I'm sorry. What you want to do is you want to explore on Facebook. They have all these different sites. If you will take where you're going to be, if it's where you live now, and like maybe however far you're willing to travel. If you're willing to travel 25 miles from home or less or more, and just kind of go in a circle around that city on a map, it will give you all kinds of little towns and things like that. And you go on Facebook and you look for the event. Well, I'm just going to make up, like I moved to Fort Myers, Florida. And I would do Fort Myers vendor events, Fort Myers community page, the community in which I moved to. I used that name and looked at different groups, and I was already finding different events, that were going on. The one thing you want to do is you want to find out, do they have a Tupperware representative? That's an important question, because I want you to really listen to this. A lot of places are in it for the money. They want your fee, and it doesn't matter to them if they have 2 or 3 of the same company there, but it needs to matter to us. You don't want to be there and there's another Tupperware person there. It's not really fair. You're splitting everything. You're not in charge of what they may be selling if they're selling some product. You want to make sure you're exclusive. So that's an important question to always ask, because like I said, they're in it to make money too. So please ask them about that. When you're riding around where you live now, look, our churches got their signs up for spring flings. Do schools have their sign up, elementary schools, for a spring fling? You want to put it out there on your own Facebook. Who knows anybody that, their school or their church are doing bazaars? Are they looking for vendors? You want to make it known that that's what you're looking for. Okay. Let's see. Let me turn my page here. Networking is really, really the key that you want to do. I would always stop and visit farmers markets. I would stop and visit events that were going on if I saw them. And I'd take your business cards and just stop and go around and introduce yourself to the other vendors there, even if you're not with that vendor event. Because tell them, say, I'm trying to get into the vendor market, and I noticed there's no Tupperware lady here. I'd love to network with you. In other words, you've got to learn how to, put yourself out there a little bit, even if they don't have somebody with Tupperware. You want to be that Tupperware person. I got into a lot of farmers markets just because of Fridge Smart. Okay, maybe they only take items that were either homemade, or they don't really like manufactured products. Well, then you take you a basket of Fridge Smarts in there and have some vegetables and talk about how you protect what they're selling. I got in so many farmers markets by having Fridge Smart. So be one step ahead of them and share that. Now, I want to tell you something about when you do obtain a vendor event. Number one, this is something that was shared with me a very, very long time ago, and it resonated with me. I want you to know that by you coming to trainings and listening to trainings, you're so getting that edge and getting your confidence and your knowledge up, and you should applaud yourself for that, because the lady that recruited me, 6 months after she recruited me, she quit. I've been on my own, and I just go and I do trainings and I take notes. So I'm glad that you're here tonight. But when you go, this was something that was shared with me. When you go and set up, it's kind of like putting that key in the door, unlocking it to your own store. You're not paying a brick and mortar rent. You're not paying the electric bill or the insurance over it. Graphics designs. Tupperware's done all that for you. The only investment that you have financially is your kit. What a gift. So when you set it up for success. It's your store. It's your baby. Okay. And one of the things I do is I always have a business little table. I either have a little 4-foot table that is nothing but business, or a spot that I can at least put out some party packs, information on recruiting, current brochures, my business cards. But I'm going to share with you something that I also would do, and it applies to dating, not just parties, in-home parties. It can be to apply for Facebook parties as well. And one of the things that I used to do is I had a party book. And all this is it's one of those, it's where you can flip it. It's like a flip notebook, and it stays in place. And I would take, and the parties that I was interested in doing, I would have a book. I'm trying to put it where you can see it. Like, this is the bridal one. Here's one for the modular mates, pressure cooker, and the tools. Okay, the tools, Tupperware tools. Now, let me just tell you what you can do with this whole concept. Number one, I want you to only put in the book what you're willing to do. Because if you fill it up with 20 sheets, you better be willing to do anything in that book. My suggestion is take the 4 top things that you're very comfortable with and have only 4 parties in there. And they're your parties of the month. You can make your own cover, like it's St. Patty's Day, it's March. And your first page could be about St. Patty's Day. Next month is spring flowers, and you could, use a lot of springy things. One thing that for March, I think of green, and I think of like the pickle dip, it's green pickles, that could be something that you work in with your tools. Everything that I do here, I have turned into doing classes with. So you can take it from whatever your word choice is more comfortable to you. It's all about you being comfortable with presenting this. If you're at a vendor event, if you want to date Facebook parties, that's your word choice. If you want to date in-home party with that person, that's your word choice. If you want to say, would you like to be included in my monthly class? That's your word choice. The more comfortable you make yourself with your presentation, the better you're going to be. Okay. I hope that helps you a little bit. Now, when I have this set up, I'm going to give you the prop too. Go to the dollar store, get the little wire. It kind of lifts it up. And then I would take a cloth napkin, and it makes it like, and I have my book setting up on its own little stage. And then I would go and I would get, the little loot bags that come for kids to, like, at their birthday parties. I would fill that up with little shreds of paper or tissue or something. And inside, I would put a piece of paper with the free gift I was willing to give. And I'm going to give you an example. You remember the little caddies that were just a purchase with $80? Well, I got 1 or 2 of those. I bought some things last month, and that free caddy cost me free. That would be something I would put on a piece of paper. Then I would tie pretty curly ribbon. Women love curly ribbon, okay? And then I would attach a keychain to it. All right, you put that little shape of ball keychain on it. You are going to have so many women pick that up because it's going to remind them, I had this when I was little, or I bought it for my child when they were little. And if they will date a party with you, they can have one. If they agree to come to a class, they can have one. But what you want out of them is to date parties. If they date a party with you, they get what's on the free piece of paper. It's kind of like a little grab bag. Always, another thing that I did at every event, towards the end of an event, they would start to get slow, real slow. Sometimes you even have people that start packing up early and things like that. what I would do is I would take my business cards, and I wouldn't go so far that I couldn't see my booth. My husband was with me a lot, so he stayed at the booth. But if you're there by yourself, just don't go so far you can't see your booth. But I would go around and I would shake hands, give out my business card to every vendor that was there. And I would tell them, I want to be your Facebook friend. Can we become friends on Facebook? Because I love networking. I'll let you know of things that I get. Will you let me know of things you get? I met a multitude of prospects from just prospecting the vendors that were there. I always have something with a QR code so that can zip them right into my VIP page. I tell them that's where I have personal sales that are off from Tupperware sales. So they get the Tupperware sales and my sales. And, that's having them come into my tent to talk to me. I want to make sure I have a QR code that makes it very simple for them to join my VIP page and build. That's what you have to do is, Marcia said it best. I am the oldest of 6, and not one of my siblings I've never had a family member do a party for me yet. They all know where, it just doesn't work that way. I don't know. I don't want you to ever feel bad because your family didn't. They're kind of sitting back, kind of waiting to see what you do with it. I think they're all in your corner, but they kind of sit back. So go out there and doggone it, we'll find our own parties and everything. Let me see if I got everything that I wanted to tell you.
Pam, I'm going to tell you, everybody is loving all these tips.
Oh, I can see, but if I started reading it, I would.
Don't read them right now. You'll wait till later. Yep. Exactly.
But,
Pam, tell them about driving down the interstate and somebody calling you.
Yeah. They didn't call me once. I had 2.
I know.
I was on the phone with you once, and the lady was right behind me, like it's me calling, letting me know that it was her. And I think I told Marcia, I said, I think the lady behind me is calling me. So you've got to get your decal.
Because then I hung up, and she's talking to that lady. And as soon as she hung up from that lady, another one called her because they had just zipped by her too.
I remember one was a party and one was a purchase.
Yep.
Yeah. One was
see, guys, you just have to get out there. Do
you still do parties? The one thing I wanted to remind you is if people are looking for you, you are Tupperware when you're there. Remember that. Make your, just feel that when you're there, because if they weren't looking for you, they wouldn't say, I didn't know Tupperware was still around. They're looking for you. Be Tupperware.
That's right. And, we need to just keep that in mind always, that the best place for people to get Tupperware is from you. So you just have to be more visible, more present. And guys, show Pam. I mean, they're already showing you lots of love, Pam. So go read all the love that they're giving you. And go make your book. And we're going to post the pictures of what she uses in her book there for you all as well. So thank you, Pam, so much. Yay, Pam. And guys, prospecting is really all about the leads, right? Prospecting is getting the leads. You've got to get yourself out there. You've got to put yourself in a position where people are going to comment and you can start the relationship, start the interaction. We are, starting something new where we're going to be, Corinne actually did it a couple times, or she did it last week, but we're going to start doing prospecting in person events. And basically these are get around the kitchen table and we're going to make phone calls together. Wherever 2 or more are gathered, that's a prospecting session. And it doesn't have to necessarily be in the same room at the table. You can be at your table and somebody else can be at their table, and y'all can be putting each other on a Zoom together and making those calls. In fact, we could have 6 people sitting around a table by Zoom and all making calls together. And there is so much power in being able to be there for each other, to share word choices, to ask for advice, and to really make it happen. So when these are being offered, I'm going to encourage you to jump on that Zoom. Do not be embarrassed. Do not be shy. because the only way you're going to get better at it is to do it in front of other people. And I know that because I hated making phone calls, but I always told my team, oh, it's a great way to get parties dated, and I'm here to help you. And when Beth Foster, and I'll never forget this, said, well, can I come over to your house tonight and make phone calls with you and you help me? I was like, sure. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just promise to do? But she came and we made phone calls, and you know what? It became a weekly thing, and we did it every single week, and our group grew, and we made lots of phone calls, and we dated lots of parties, and we recruited lots of people. And it's the power of our positivity that makes the difference in our business. So make sure you're marking these when you see them in the group. All right, guys, sharing the opportunities, what it's all about. We do have our digital opportunity continuing for this month, even though my little slide says February, it does go through the end of this month. We also have our 4 product kits that we can offer people, because I want you to think, well, I want to do this first because I did a little challenge last week, and I said, I need you guys talking to people, and all you had to do was talk to people, and it put those people you're talking to in a drawing for $300 Tupperware. So I have the folks who were in that drawing right here, and I'm going to bring that up because I'm going to give away $300 worth of Tupperware right now to some lucky person that was interviewed. I have here the person who interviewed them and their name, and we're going to find out who's going to get $300. If you interviewed somebody and entered them into the challenge because you were the one registering them, then you might, you're going to get a little gift too, but they're going to get $300, and maybe that's another chance for you to talk them into joining us in Tupperware as well. And the winner is Donna Jo Wilkinson and Jessica Millette. And Jessica, if I'm not mistaken, joined us. So Jessica, lucky you. You just won $300 Tupperware. Donna Jo, you'll be getting an extra gift from me also for being a part of my challenge as we did that. So that was fun. I love giving stuff away, and I might have to do something like that again, but not today. All right, because we are on a mission to share the word about Tupperware with everybody. We have so many exciting things for our new consultants. We have a brand new program called Ready, Set, Activate. And basically it's rolled there was several different things going on for consultants, and it got a little bit confusing for our new consultants. So everything's rolled into one. Your first month, every new consultant in their first month can earn these 4 things that you see here: the small vent and serve, the Shearly Elegant. They get a $50 shopping spree, and they get to choose either Ultra Pro or utensils. Second month, they get to get a bigger piece of vent and serve, an additional piece of Shearly Elegant, another shopping spree, and they get to choose one of these 2 products, the Supersonic Chopper or the Mandolin. And then the third month, they get the 3rd piece of vent and serve to complete their set. They get the last pieces of the Shearly Elegant to complete their set. They get another shopping spree, and they get to choose another one of our premium products, which is absolutely huge. Now, here's the thing, guys, that's so exciting about this is that when we talk to people and we say to them, look what you can get for joining us. And so this kind of is putting it together that if somebody comes in this week and they hold their launch party, and this is kind of based on this first week of the month. So this one, you would have to take, like this one is like, they got to start now and hold their party, submit an average party of $500 by Wednesday. They're going to get their free host gifts, of course, which, is huge. They're going to get the 3 product samples that our new consultants can get during their first 2 weeks. They're going to get their $50 voucher to choose what they want. They're going to get their Vent and Serve small round. They're going to get the 2-piece Shearly Elegant. And if they do it by Wednesday, they're also going to get their decal and their flags. If they don't do it by Wednesday, just take that one off, but they still get everything else just for holding that first party when they get started. That is huge. And we need to be out there talking to people and letting them know all about that. Because guys, I need you to know something. There are people all across the United States that don't know anyone that sells Tupperware. And we're going on a mission. We're going on a mad mission because we're going to make a difference. Because in our company, our Hooray company, we have consultants in only 26 states. That means there are 24 states that we don't even have a presence. Now, there might be other companies that have somebody there, other, Tupperware companies that have somebody there, but we don't. And all that I care about is that we're touching people everywhere. So we have 24 states that we don't have anybody. I'm going to be posting a map that shows you that. And our goal this month is to get a recruit in every state, and especially in the 24 states that we do not have a presence right now. Plus, there are 2 territories, Guam and Puerto Rico, that we can recruit people in, and they can be part of our team. We also have, I don't know how many military bases, but if they're on a U.S. military base with an APO or an FPO, we can recruit them and they can sell Tupperware with us and be part of our team. So here's my challenge to you guys. When we achieve our goal of our mission madness, our mission madness, when we have a consultant in every single state in the United States, an active consultant in every single state in the United States, I am going to put a $10 in for every single one, which means I am going to give away $500 cash. That's right, $500 cash when we have one or more active team member in every state in the United States. And if we add in the territories and we add in the APO, FPOs, I'll add in $10 for every one of those we hit as well. But minimum $500 when we do that. Can we do that? That's our goal. And I would love for us to do it this month. But you know what? We're going to keep going and we're going to keep doing and we're going to make this happen. Are you in it with me? Yes, what states? I'm going to post all of the states for you guys so you know where we're aiming for, right? That doesn't mean we don't recruit in states we already have people, because some states we only have one person. And, got to make sure we got more than one everywhere. We're just going to keep recruiting until we get them all, okay? All right. So as we finish up tonight, a reminder coming up in just 8 minutes, we have our Millionaire Mindset. You don't want to miss out. This one's going to be really awesome tonight. Also, it's going to continue this talk about about prospecting, because it is our very own Corinne Brown that's going to be sharing about how to do this in person as well as virtually. And we're going to make sure that we're on there to support her and encourage her and give her lots of love as we also get our mindsets on what we're going to do, because we're going to make money in 2024, right? And I'm going to close with one more Dr. Seuss. Remember, I've got a challenge going every day. If you haven't done your Positivity Monday post, get that done, get it in the thing so you can be in my, so you can have that challenge. Because if you do all 5 days challenges, you're going to get a gift from me. Here's the closing thing for tonight. And it is, you'll never be bored when you try something new. There's really no limit to what you can do. So this is the thing, guys. What we've shared with you tonight are things that maybe are new to you. And I want you to embrace them. I want you to run with them. And I want you to make your business grow by being unafraid, by being fearless and getting out there and doing the things that were going to grow your business. Okay. So let's get out there and make a difference during March Madness, guys. And I will see you. And